reward yourself. What happens is people, they're going, and never have an opportunity to say, all right, got that done. Check that box. And they keep beating up on themselves like, man, they talk about all the things they didn't get done, but not the things they did get done. And so what happens is that we get distracted by all the things we didn't accomplish. And it takes us off of focus on, hey, I got 2 done. I got 1. Let me get this one done before I leave the house. Let me get this one done. Let me get 1 more set before I leave the gym. Let me make 1 more call and get this client in. Whatever it is, the key is to reward yourself for what has been done.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. We're doing a 3-day juice cleanse. And so I'm doing the cleanse. And so at the end of the 3-day cleanse, to reward myself, I'm going to have some fries. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. You know,
you were telling Janelle that. You weren't telling me that.
You focus, and then you reward yourself. I like that.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven and family-focused and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Hey, welcome to the Self-Talk Experience. I am Tracy Self, and I'm here with my co-host, Darnell Self.
Hey.
And babe, I'm kind of sad we're not live anymore. Live was so good. Thank everybody so much that came out to see us live. I had a lot of fun. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Like really, really nervous backstage. And then when I came out, the energy everybody gave was amazing, and it made it really easy. And I was like, I want to do it live all the time.
Yeah, we had about 1,000 people there in Las Vegas, and the energy was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I know it caused you to engage even more.
Right.
Yeah, so it was awesome. Again, thanks for all the support.
Yes.
Thanks for all the comments, likes, shares, reviews. We've been having a great time with the Self-Talk Experience.
I know, but it's just us and our producer. The 3 of us together again. Back at the studio.
Yep, here we are. And it's another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. And I'm really excited about today because I was talking to the team the other day about staying focused because we set these lofty goals over the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. And then we did some reverse engineering and talked about, okay, what needs to happen this month?
Okay.
And, I shouldn't say this. Sometimes as soon as you set a goal, there are distractions that happen.
Well, no, immediately.
Yeah.
It never fails. It never fails. As soon as you're like, okay, this is going to get done and this is how I'm going to do it, something happens to make you look left or look right.
Right. And I think it's a test, right? Like, do you really want what you say you want? And what's going to take you off course to cause you to delay what you said you wanted and you want it fast?
Right. There's so many different types of distractions there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different distractions. And the bottom line is when we're distracted, we're not focused. Mm-hmm. Like focus and distraction can't be one and the same. So you've got to decrease distractions in order to increase focus. This is what I was talking to the team about. So I thought, man, this would be a great self-talk because I know I'm not the only one who set goals to achieve something, whether it be fitness, or whether it be financial, whether it be relationship. And so what happens is, how do you stay focused? First of all, how do you get focused? Then how do you stay focused? And then how do you eliminate some of the distractions or at least decrease some of those distractions so that you can maintain focus long enough to hit your goals?
And also maybe sometimes some people are better at ignoring distractions than others. So how do you get better at that?
Yeah.
Because something that distracts you may not distract me.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So I can say, you know what, that's a distraction, but I'm just going to put my laser focus on and not pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And somebody else is so focused on it, it takes them off course.
Yep.
So do you get better just going through things, or is there something that can help you with that?
Well, this is why, and that's a great question. This is why the self-talk is important because my self-talk to stay focused could be slightly different than your self-talk, just in terms of specific distractions. For an example, if I don't like social media that much anyway.
I was just thinking of that example.
Yeah.
Why we think alike sometimes? That's crazy. So I was just going to say social media wouldn't distract me.
Right.
Because I'm not really big on social media, but somebody else,
Yeah, absolutely.
it would be a big distraction. They would really have to focus on, okay, do not log on. Do not look at it.
Right.
Right. But for me, it's easy.
Yeah. And plus they get notifications too, right? Like you don't get notifications. But people who use social media, even for business, can still be distracted from the very reason why they got on social media for business.
True. So it doesn't just have to be, it could be for something serious. It doesn't have to just be for fun. Or,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
I took some notes because I thought it would be good to share with folks the 7 things you can do to increase.
7.
They're
Sounds
quick
like a
7.
lot.
I know. Normally I'm a 3 to 4 guy. I'm like, look, there are 3 things you need to do. There's 4. I normally don't
I'm
do
just
7.
thinking if I was at church and they were like, okay, 7. I'm like, 7. Okay, go.
Okay, they're going to be quick though.
Yes.
Right?
Quick.
The only reason it would be longer is if you talk too much between
Oh my
each
gosh,
one.
I never talk too much. Ever.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
Okay.
So first, let's talk about what distraction can be, right? It can be mental turmoil. Sometimes you got so much going on in life, it feels like you can't focus.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I can't believe this is happening. This is happening. I've got this issue with my relationship. I got this issue with finances. I've got this issue. My mom is not, feeling well. Is ill. My wife, so sometimes mental turmoil, a lot happening in your life can cause you to feel like I just can't focus.
Right. And what's crazy is when we are going through things, that's when we really need to be focused.
I know.
But it's hard because it's taken away.
That's why we had the Self-Talk Experience podcast. So we can help out with that, right? Because we're not the only ones that deal with that. And I'm sure a lot of people do, right? And I wrote down some simple things that sometimes we don't think about as a distraction. For an example, a toothache can be a distraction, right? So you're like, my gosh, I just don't feel like doing the call. I don't feel like going out for the jog. I don't feel like, so it's distracting you from what you set up as a goal.
Right.
Because it's a toothache. Now, I'm not saying that the toothache isn't a real reason, doesn't have to be an excuse, a real reason why you feel like I don't want to do anything. But yet it's still distracting you from your goal.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So we'll try to talk about that in another podcast too.
What?
Like pointing the finger and blaming other things and not taking full accountability. Like I chose not to do it because my tooth hurt.
Right.
We'll talk about that. That's a good podcast.
Or maybe your tooth hurt because you've been putting off going to the dentist. So that's an episode about procrastination. About that.
Okay, let's get to the 7.
Okay.
We didn't even get to number 1 yet. So number 1, we're talking about increasing your focus and decreasing distractions. It's going to be really good. I guarantee there's going to be somebody who comments 6 months from now and say, man, that podcast, that episode helped me to reach some goals I've been looking to reach for 7 years of my life. But I've been so easily distracted. I didn't even realize it was a distraction because that's a pattern I set up in my life. My life has just been cyclical in terms of having things around me that's always moving. And I'm always trying to spin a bunch of plates, always trying to juggle a bunch of things. I didn't even think about it as a distraction. I thought this is just my life. And it's been holding them back, and they didn't realize that they'd never been laser focused. They never put blinders on because sometimes it's so chaotic. Some people's lives are so chaotic, and they actually fuel the distraction. They feel it and don't even realize it.
Right.
You know, some people like drama.
Yes.
Yeah. And so if drama is a distraction and they like it, they're fueling the distraction, which means they're limiting their own focus.
Do they know it's a distraction?
No, most folks don't.
Right.
That's my point.
They're not thinking of it as a distraction.
No. They're not thinking of it as a distraction. Okay, let's talk about it. Number 1.
You're still not on number 1?
Because you keep talking. All right, number 1, have a plan the night before. And we do even a week before, like with the plans and even our executive producer. Like if we're going to work out, like we'll do the week. So we know like this is when we're going to work out. This is how we know we're focused. If we don't do it, then we're not that focused on it.
And you could get distracted by something else that comes up.
Exactly right.
But you can't if you've planned for
That's
it.
exactly right.
Right.
So I put down the night before because at least the night before, if you can the week before, but sometimes people can't do the week before because there's a lot happening in their life and their work schedule is different every week. So, or every day.
Right.
So, but if you can, at least the night before, you plan things out. That way, you're productive because you've already put it in there. It's like, look, no matter what, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and this is going to get done. And then you check that box. You were focused on it. There was nothing that and if you had to, you could even tell other people who could be the distraction, because sometimes people are the distraction, family. Hey, listen, I'm not going to eat breakfast in the morning. I'm not working out in the morning. I've got to get this done.
Right.
So the night before, you already told everybody and anything that could be a distraction that I got to stay focused on this for 30 minutes in the morning.
But you're really good about that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Thank you for saying that.
You really are. You do. You always ask, what is your plan for the day? Because this is my plan for the day. I'm trying to figure out tomorrow. You are very good about trying to do things in advance.
Yeah. I think because too, sometimes when you have a lot to do, and typically my days are busy, which is good. I'm not complaining. Like, they're busy because I'm accomplishing a lot of goals. Sure. But if you want to be productive that day, productive with whatever, then I don't know how you get a lot done without being focused on checking boxes. Like, if you don't calendar things, and folks just hope and they wish, and it's like, man, I meant to go to the calendar. I meant to go to the cleaners. Man, I meant to, do this. And before they know it, it's like, I didn't get any of that done.
Yeah.
So I would say, number one, schedule the night before the next day. So you're not waking up hoping, wishing. That's not a good strategy. It's a plan in place. Get it done.
Right.
Okay. And then again, if you have to enroll other people into that plan.
Right.
Number two, turn off distractions. This is what we were talking about before, like notifications. Like, during that time that you're going to stay focused for that 30 minutes, that 1 hour, whatever it may be, during that time is a time that, there can't be any notification. If you have to put your phone on do not disturb.
Well, just like when we're recording.
Yep.
That's exactly our time. Right. So we eliminate all distractions.
That's right.
Right?
Yep. So my phone is on do not disturb right now, even though my notes are on this.
Right.
Nobody's going to call through. I think the kids could call through on do not disturb, right? But my point is that we're staying focused on this. Yeah. So turn off distractions, guys. That's an easy one. I shouldn't say it's an easy one. It's a simple one. Things that are easy to do, also easy not to do, but you have to choose to do it depending on how much you want to do and how badly you want to get it done. Then make the choice.
Right.
You're in a car. I'm not going to listen to the radio. This is when I'm make my calls if you're in sales or you're marketing. This is when I'm going to make. I'm going to make this call to try to get this property. Right. So you get to choose that.
Right.
So turn off distractions. Whatever could be a distraction. Could be the radio. Could be the TV. Miss the show if you're focused on reaching this goal.
Right.
Number three, meditate or affirm or pray. So meditation, affirmation, prayer. So this one is important for me because it puts me in a mindset of focus. It's like, today I'm winning. Today I'm hitting this goal. Today, whatever it is. Like, we take these all expense paid trips, right? And so we're over 30 all expense paid trips, airfare, hotel, food. It's been amazing, right?
Except when we take our kids. It's not.
I know we earn the trip and then we take the kids and got to pay for them. But we've been to beautiful places, right? Iceland and Malta and Barcelona and the Summer Olympics and Rio de Janeiro and next week or Puerto Vallarta. So it's all these wonderful places. But here's my point in saying all of that. It is tough to say to yourself, this is going to be the time where I accomplish this. And you're also saying to yourself, I got so much to do. I just don't know if I can get any of this done. I don't know how I'm going to get all this done today. See that self-talk?
Yes.
And that's why I mean affirmation, meditation, prayer. By the way, you do meditation, right? You do a morning meditation. It's like, I bring joy today. Right. And it helps you so that even when negative things come our way, because they will, you have already made a decision through that meditation that I bring joy to every situation today. Love is what will exude from me today. And sometimes we have to put ourselves in that place especially when we have other things going on that could cause us to be angry or frustrated or sad. Right.
But also to including those who you're going to interact with, right? Yeah. So a lot of times when I'll do my meditation or a certain affirmation comes up or a question, I'll put it in our family chat and ask everybody, what's your intention today? This is what mine is. What is yours? So the people that we are going to talk to or be around, we can encourage each other to not be distracted, to focus in on what our affirmation or our intention was today. Yeah, and sometimes I'll even send it in the evening. So, okay, guys, tomorrow when we wake up, what's our intention? Yeah. Yeah, and I can see how the kids are responding in there, and it's good. Right. It's good. And so I think that we're talking about staying focused, remember? So you asked the other day, you was like,
how are you moving through this? Right? We were dealing with the situation. You were like, how are you moving through this? And I was like, because I prayed about it. And I let go and let God.
Right.
Like, I'm not like, how long do I go distracted by something I have no more control over? And I'm not saying this is easy, because depending on what you're going through, it's not always easy.
Of course.
But at least we're giving recommendations, suggestions based on our experience. That's why it's called the self-talk experience. And whenever I have implemented meditation, affirmation, and prayer, it has helped me to move through things in a more expedient way,
right,
where I can focus and not be as distracted.
And sometimes too, if it's a distraction, you may have to pick it back up later. But if you have a day where you have to get something done, it's okay to have something on your mind or something you're concerned about. But sometimes, as my friend Nikita Tucker says, you have to put it in a box. And you put it in a box, and you're going to go back and deal with it and do it.
Yeah.
But maybe that day, something else has to get done. And if you keep focusing on it, you won't get it done.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because it's important to you, the box is there. You pick the box back up that evening or the next day and say, okay, I've done that. So now let me deal with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's good. And I'm glad you brought it up that way, because it makes me think of different scenarios. Like, check this out, y'all. So if you are an entrepreneur, no one's giving you a check, whether you're distracted or focused, doesn't matter to your mortgage company. They're not going to say, oh, you were distracted last month. Well, we'll forgive you.
Right.
So this is not 2 weeks check, 2 weeks check. If you're an entrepreneur, you may have some stuff going on that are distracting you. And you may have to say, you know what, like you said, I'm going to put this in the box, because I still, with all this going on, still have to get A, B, and C done, because I'm responsible completely for my revenues.
Right. But even for me, like as a stay-at-home mom, when the kids were growing up, if I didn't feel well or I had something else going on,
very key,
they still had to have dinner. They couldn't make it themselves. So I had to put my emotions in a box and take some medicine and get it done. And then later I can say, okay, now I can rest.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, right?
It's the same
because
thing.
Because you have these responsibilities.
Got to check that box.
And you have to check that box.
Yep. And that's key to staying focused, right? It's like, look, this box is getting checked today. Like, I'm making the 10 calls a day. I'm going to the gym today. Like, this box is getting checked. Like, if the doctor said, hey, look, I'm sorry, like, your condition, if you don't do X, Y, and Z today, let's just say if you don't drink 4 glasses of water today, you are going to be in a horrible position tomorrow. You won't be able to move. I can't promise you that you'll survive.
Yeah.
I don't care what's happening in that person's life that day. All the distractions in the world, the phone could be ringing, the kids could be yelling. They're going to get those 4 glasses of water in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see? And so sometimes our goal isn't, which, let me just go to it. I already led to it. Number 4, set goals. And sometimes smaller goals. Like, remember I said calendar everything?
Right.
Sometimes what we have seems too much.
Well, sometimes you can calendar it, but then you take the advice of calendaring it, but then you calendar 100 things.
This is my point.
So
you set a goal, but sometimes you reset it as a smaller goal.
Okay.
So the longer it takes to hit a particular goal, the more opportunity for distraction to enter the scene. So if I'm saying, hey, look, I'm going to work out for an hour, and I got a lot going on with kids I'm trying to take care of at the house, and the gym is in the house, and you may have to cut that down to I'm going to work out for 30 minutes on Mondays, because that's when I have the kids with me.
It's good, yeah.
So what you do is you decrease the amount of time, because if you set this up for 2 hours, I'm going to make my calls for my business for 2 hours. Well, 2 hours may not work for you. That's why you keep getting distracted. But do a whole bunch more in 30 minutes. You already use the bathroom, already have your water, because this is what happens. People are about to make well, I'm thirsty. Then they go get something to drink. I got to use the bathroom. Then they go use the bathroom. They do all these. Oh, I got to call my wife and check on her. Okay, babe, just calling, just thinking about you. You can't think about her in that 30 minutes. For 2 hours, that's what happens. 2 hours, yes, you go get something to drink. You use the bathroom. You call your spouse. But I just made it 30 minutes for you. You don't have to. You do all that before the 30 minutes. Right. Hold it for 30 minutes. Cross your legs. Don't pee for 30 minutes.
But then you say to yourself, I worked for 2 whole hours and I feel like I didn't get anything done. But you're convincing yourself that you worked.
Right, exactly.
For 2 hours.
Exactly. And most of the time, they're not doing what they need to do in that 2 hours. They'll do more in 30 minutes.
Yeah. And in my 50s, I can't really hold it. So
I was just kidding. I already know you go off. And in fact, if we don't hurry up and finish this episode, she's going to excuse herself and I'll be solo.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So that was number 4. Sometimes decrease the time from the goal that you set. Mm-hmm. So instead of 2 hours, make it 30 minutes maybe. Okay. And maybe increase the amount of days that you do it, but the time you do it can be decreased. Okay. So make adjustments. All right. We're on number 5. Number 5, visual reminders. And I'm really good at this too. We've done this for a long time. Visual reminders. So if we say we want something, you'll make screensavers up. Of the things that motivate you, the things you want to do. You'll visit sites of places you want to go. You're like, hey, we should go here. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Right. So visual reminders keep you focused. Otherwise, it's like, I remember I used to dream about that, because you stopped dreaming because there was no visual reminder. So we stopped focusing on the dream. We're distracted now by today's bills, and we allow our circumstances to dwarf our goals because there is no visual reminder that keeps us focused on the thing we say we want.
Well, remember, we had vision boards.
I know.
When
awesome.
our family was younger, we had vision boards.
Yep. And still in my office today, I have a digital board now. Right. And I have things on there like my goal to help more people earn 6 figures. I've got the folks listed. So I'm looking, and it's a reminder every day to look at that. I'm like, let's go. Let's get it.
Right. No, that's
otherwise, it's like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to help today? And I already know. It's a visual reminder.
And then you can also, if you don't have those visual reminders, there are visual distractions. Yep. So if you're not looking at what you're focused on,
that's good.
You can kind of get sidetracked by other visual.
It's true.
Right?
That's good. That's very true.
Yeah.
So visual reminders, that was number 5. Number 6, reward yourself. So we're talking about decreasing distractions, increasing focus. Reward yourself. What happens is people, they're going, and never have an opportunity to say, all right, got that done. Check that box. And they keep beating up on themselves like, man, they talk about all the things they didn't get done, but not the things they did get done. Right. And so what happens is that we get distracted by all the things we didn't accomplish. And it takes us off of focus on, hey, I got 2 done. I got 1. Let me get this one done before I leave the house. Let me get this one done. Let me get 1 more set before I leave the gym. Let me make 1 more call and get this client in. Whatever it is, the key is to reward yourself for what has been done.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. We're doing a 3-day juice cleanse. And so I'm doing the cleanse. And so at the end of the 3-day cleanse, to reward myself, I'm going to have some fries. And that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. You
were telling Janelle that. You weren't telling me that.
You focus, and then you reward yourself. I like that. That's number 6. I like it.
That's not exactly what I meant, self-talk community. But if you want to go get fries after you work so hard through your cleanse, go for it.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm hungry.
Okay. Reward yourself. Maybe not with fries, but reward yourself. Stay focused on, hey, I'll get 1 more done because I just got that one done. 1 more day. It just feels better.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, this will happen. People wait till 2 o'clock in the morning, the day that the paper is due. Remember that in college? Mm-hmm. And instead of saying, all right, I'm going to get 2 pages done today and I'm going to reward myself. I'm like, all right, good. I'm going to go out, but I got to get to page 5 first. There's no reward along the way. There's no benchmarks. Then we wait to the end to try to get it all done because we think the reward is only at the end instead of benchmarks along the way.
Right. Or you could just get your boyfriend to write your paper and you don't have to do it anyway.
Anyway. In college, that's what happened. All her take-home tests and papers.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Don't follow that instruction.
Okay, number 7.
Number 7, last one, accountability. Accountability. Yes. So we're talking about staying focused, accountability. My gosh, I just don't know if I would stay as focused as I've been in my life without accountability. You know what accountability does? It lets you know that, hey, if I don't get this done, somebody's going to call me out. Mm-hmm. If I don't show up at the gym, somebody's going to call me and say, where are you? I'm waiting for you. It's accountability.
Right.
So have accountability and you'll see that you'll stay more focused because somebody is going to check on you.
That's good.
Right.
And somebody you care about.
Yeah.
Checking
Somebody
on
you
you.
respect.
Right.
Right. Because otherwise you're like, I don't really care. There's no real accountability
Right.
unless you really care that that person is checking on you.
And it can't be a person that you can kind of convince, yeah, I didn't do it. And they're like, it's okay.
That's
I know
true.
it's okay, right? Yeah, it's okay, girl.
Yeah.
So you can't have that.
Right.
You have to have somebody who's very stern.
Right.
I'm not stern. I'm trying to be stern. And somebody's like, I didn't do it. I'm like, it's okay. Just do it tomorrow. Let's go get some fries.
Hey guys, I hope that these 7 tips have helped you to stay focused.
You did that fast. That was good. 7. That was good. I thought it was going to be like 2 episodes. No, seriously, no, that was good, babe.
Remember, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determines what we attract for ourselves. This has been another episode of the Self-Talk Experience.
And if I'm a distraction, I'm a good distraction.
Somebody help me.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.